Hello everyone and welcome to the Bandit's Den. Hopefully I'll make this video quick because I'm cooking lunch for tomorrow right now. One of you made a comment, and I think you're a new subscriber or new to the channel or something, gave me an idea for this video. I spent some time thinking about it while I was washing my dishes. Man, I've been so busy. I just started a new job and it was nice being unemployed, but all good things have to come to an end. So the thing is, I get this Christian argument a lot about how humans were given dominion by God over the world, and so that means we can rape, torture, and kill everything that we see. Everything that moves we can fucking destroy, treat like shit, torture, enslave, and rape, and that's our God-given right. I think I mentioned it at the end of one of my last videos that I really agree with a vegan meme that I've seen around that says something like, if this is God's will, and it shows all the atrocities, pictures of all the atrocities in animal agriculture, and it says, if this is God's will, then what does Satan do? I like to say something like, well, I do believe that Satan is on vacation because God's people are already doing everything for him as it is. Really, the best version of hell that I can picture is being an animal in animal agriculture. That would be hell incarnate. It's here on Earth. But anyways, this whole dominion argument. Dominion means we rule over them, right? Of course, we are the most powerful species in the world. I mean, some dude killed like 30,000 elephants because he was so stupid he thought that they were destroying the environment. As if, nature could destroy itself or something. He thought that elephants were destroying the environment. He actually mowed down hundreds of families of elephants in front of each other and killed them all. Really fucked up stuff. But yes, we are the most powerful. We can do those things. Should we? Well, that's debatable. Let's see. What makes a good ruler? A good ruler treats his subjects with compassion and kindness and respect, benevolence. And a good ruler of his subjects would try to make sure that his subjects get to live a long, healthy, and happy life full of freedom and liberty, and they're able to pursue happiness and hopefully end up dying at a nice, ripe old age after living a nice, long, healthy, full life. Is that what we do for animals? I don't think so. 70 billion individuals on land alone are raised by us, killed by us after getting raped and tortured. That's not being very benevolent of rulers, now is it? And people always forget the verses that come after God giving us dominion over the world and all the creatures on it. Verse 29, which comes after that, I think it's verse 25 or 26, that says we have dominion over the world and everything in it. Verse 29, which comes after that, God gives us explicit instructions that every seed-bearing plant, which is like herbs and stuff and vegetables and whatnot, every seed-bearing plant and every tree that has fruit with seed in it shall be yours for food. That's all he says about food in the Bible, all right? That's all that is said about food in that first chapter of Genesis, other than what God gives animals to eat, right? And he gives herbivorous animals all the leafy greens to eat. He gives us all the seed-bearing plants and all of the trees who have fruit with seed in it for food. So what does that sound like? It sounds to me like a plant-based diet. Sounds like we're supposed to leave the animals the fuck alone. It doesn't say anywhere in there to rape animals, to torture them, to kill them. It doesn't say to treat them like garbage. It says we are their rulers. You know, if I had a choice to be ruled by a king or a queen who enjoyed torturing me versus one who wanted to see me thrive and enjoy myself on this planet, I would choose the second option. I would choose the king or queen that treats their people good, that treats them well and allows them to live long, healthy, happy lives, pursuing what makes them happiest in their life. Us humans, except for vegans, us humans are not like that with animals. So what kind of rulers are we to the animals? What kind of rulers over the world are we? Probably the most tyrannical, terrible, hateful, and destructive rulers anybody can imagine. We wouldn't want to be our own subjects, now would we? We wouldn't want to be in the animal's place. So how good of rulers are we? And this is what God told us to do. I mean, all of you Christians, this is just what God says in the first chapter. Now, a lot of Christians will argue with me, oh, well, later on in the Bible, God says, oh, well, everything is clean for you to eat now. Now you can eat whatever you want and I'll forgive you. Okay, well, let me put it to you this way. You have a girlfriend, right? And you fucking love her. She's the most awesome thing ever. She gives you everything you want. Everything you wanted in a woman is this girlfriend, right? So beautiful, so loving, so caring and understanding. And she makes the perfect companion, kind of like God, right? Now just imagine, years down the line, you still love each other very much, you still respect each other, but she says, you see that hot chick over there? I would forgive you if you went and fucked her brains out every day instead of fucking me. I would forgive you. I wouldn't like it, but I would forgive you. And I would still be with you anyways. Would you go and fuck that chick? I think most people, if you still love your girlfriend or your wife at that point or whatever, if you still love her, you wouldn't go and cheat on her, even though she would forgive you afterward. Now I know. A lot of people, especially my age, are pieces of fucking trash, and they're cheaters. So they probably would go and do that, because you're a piece of shit. But any good person wouldn't fucking do that anyways, because you love and care about this person. This person is the most important person to you. And so why would you go fuck around on them, even though they say they would forgive you if you did? Me, I wouldn't. If I really loved this chick and cared about her and all this stuff and wanted to remain each other's forever and all this stuff, even if she said, oh, I would forgive you if you went and cheated on me, I still wouldn't do it because I respect her and love her, right? Same thing with God. Even though God says, oh yeah, you can do fucked up shit if you want and I'll forgive you. If I'm a devout follower of God, right, I would just not do that stuff anyways. I would follow his original plan of how I should be a good person, right? And that means leaving animals the fuck alone, following his original plan of plant-based people. And instead of being tyrannical, evil dictators and rulers of this world, maybe being a little nice. And I think this infatuation with hunting, I don't know how it is where you guys live, but there's this serious infatuation with hunting amongst men, or men trying to be men here in Albuquerque, right? Everybody just thinks it's so cool and badass to go and shoot shoot the shit out of birds that are, you know, a tenth of our size or a 20th of our size, that it makes you just so big and bad to do that. You know, I think this ties in a lot with people's fear of death. You know, and it sounds a little backward, yeah? That causing death to other things is because we're afraid of death. But you see, forcing death upon other things kind of makes you feel like you're above it all, right? And just in that moment, you can watch something else die while you're still alive. It feels like you're immortal in that instance, doesn't it? It helps you forget your own fragile mortality. You know, and the reason people can't face their own fragile mortality, and in some ways they have to run from it by forcing that mortality to occur earlier than it needs to upon other organisms, is because they're scared little fucking bitches. And they just can't handle facing the inevitable reality that they're going to have to face one day. One day they're going to die. And I guarantee a lot of these people who revel in forcing death upon other organisms are scared as shit when the time comes. Now recently I had an instance where I was potentially going to die, right? And I just thought, well, hopefully those people who know that I have jelly would eventually find her before she starts having problems with water or food. But at the very least, I won't have to worry about anything anymore, you know? And I faced the possibility of my own mortality with as much courage as I could ever hope to. You see, the whole reason all these COVID measurements, all these restrictions and stuff are happening is because people are scared as shit to die. They are fucking terrified. And they want to do everything they can to preserve their own fragile existence on this planet. Everything they possibly can. Because they're fucking scared shitless. They are scared little bitches. And this is why nobody has a problem forcing mortality to come, the end of mortality, the end to come quicker to other organisms. It makes them feel like they're above it somehow, which is very cowardly and pretty ignorant of how oneself works. I mean, all it takes is a little bit of introspection. I did get some of these ideas from Arth Herger from before I went vegan, but these ideas definitely did help shape my future and factored in with many other things in me eventually going vegan. The thought of mortality, forcing it on others, the world-denying view, like, fuck this world. I'm going to somewhere better anyways. And I know because this book says no matter what the fuck I do, as long as I believe in God, I'm going to heaven. So it doesn't really matter how I treat my subjects that God gave me dominion over. It doesn't matter whether I'm a terrible or a benevolent ruler. I'm going to heaven anyways because he said he'll forgive me anyways. So fuck his original plan. I don't give a shit. Sounds like a really spoiled child. So anyways, Christians, you know, I'm sorry, but I think you should probably get on the boat with this. I mean, look at the Seventh-day Adventists. Sure, they're not all awesome people, but many of them do, almost the majority of them, do treat animals with the respect that they deserve, the respect that God told us to give them. So, I look forward to listening to your comments in the comment section. I'm sure I have just upset some people, but hey, hopefully I at least got you thinking about this. Hopefully you're not just so fucking pissed that I took the literal writings of the first chapter of Genesis and just put them on the table. I mean, that's what the fuck it says, right? Hopefully you're not so fucking upset about it that you don't take the time to think. I hope that anybody that comes across this video at least takes the time to fucking think about this shit. Think about it logically and be nice to animals. Sure, maybe your God will forgive you, but I can't guarantee that the animals will. Think about all of the animals, right? All of their faces looking at you. Think of it kind of in a karmic way. All of these terrible things you've stacked up throughout all your life. You want to make the tower taller? Or do you want it to stop where it is? Later, guys. Peace for real. Go vegan. And I'll catch you in the next one. Later.